I think it's the best movie since Endgame.
Yeah, I'll
I'm
have
gonna
to
jump
think
out
about
there
it
and say
more.
it.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I think it's the best Tom movie.
Yeah, I could see that. We're gonna
Yep.
get in rankings like next week, so
Right,
I
yeah.
don't want to jump too much in the
Yeah,
rankings.
I'm telling you, it's gonna be high on my list. All right, so I don't even know where to begin with this one, but this was a banger, ladies and gentlemen. Spider-Man Brand New Day was fire. We just saw it at a early screening and it was unbelievable in my opinion. I'm not really getting into spoilers just yet. We will be in this video. We're doing a full deep dive here, but what was your initial thoughts? What'd you think of it? Just first reaction coming out of the theater.
First reaction, I thought it was really good. You know,
It was.
I was really hyped going into this. Obviously,
Yep.
it's our first Tom Holland Spider-Man in like 5 years since No Way Home.
Yep.
So, and then I felt like there was a lot more buzz going this than a normal MCU, at least the past couple.
At
So,
least
yeah.
since Endgame, this movie might have had the most buzz going in,
New Way
besides
Home.
maybe No Way
Yeah.
Home, just with all the speculation of the fan service stuff there, which we'll
Yeah.
kind of touch on a little bit in this video because I do want to bring up something about that. Yeah, man, it was really good.
Yeah.
Like it, in my opinion, it's Tom Holland's best Spider-Man movie.
Yep.
I think it's easily better than Homecoming. It's easily better than Far From Home, which is the weakest, in my opinion, out of Tom's movies. No Way Home, you could argue the only thing with No Way Home for me is there's just a lot of fan service in there.
Yeah.
That's carried more by the nostalgia of the old villains coming in and Toby and Andrew being in there. So just like Tom doesn't shine solo in that
Yeah.
movie. As far as this movie, like standing on his own 2 feet,
Yeah.
there are some good side characters in it, obviously, like Hulk and Punisher, like we saw in the trailer. So that's not a
Trailers,
spoiler. This is Tom's best
Yeah.
movie, in my opinion.
Yeah, I really liked a lot of the movie 2 was a lot more grounded in like the street level, kind of like him.
yeah.
And it really reminded me, I saw where they used a lot of the video game too, a lot of his different
Yes.
moves. And like, I
Yep.
thought these were for sure the best swinging scenes he's had in the
For
MCU.
Tom, 100%.
I
Yeah.
could say it rivals Andrews as well.
Yeah, you could argue Andrews. Andrews, I think, has the best movement and cinematography to it, but
know. This
it
one
was
had
up
really
there. They
good-
definitely took some pages out of Andrews' movies, books,
Like
with
some of the first person shots are
with
like
the first
over the
person
shoulder.
shots and things like that, and like you can see the wind effects
Yeah,
on his
he
mask
was,
and
like,
stuff. That's
flying
right
through,
out
yeah.
of the Amazing Spider-Man. So that's personally what I like to see in a Spider-Man movie. And I know I will say about this one thing that people have complained about with Tom's movies before is you don't get that sense of New York,
Yeah.
like you do in Toby's movies and Andrew's movies.
Yep.
You really get that
Yeah,
in this movie.
one is all New York
All
the entire
New
time.
York
Yep.
the entire time.
Yep.
The skyscrapers, the swinging around the city.
I thought some of the like cinematography shots too of just the city, like him, like either on a building or just sitting around. I
Oh
felt
yeah,
it was
like
really,
even the
like,
shot from the
looked good.
trailer that was towards the beginning of the movie where he's like hanging upside down on the
Like the build, like
the
that
construction
sky-
work and stuff like that, and he's on like the scaffolding and things, and even there was like a shot towards the end of the movie where he was sitting up like just looking over the skyline
the
and
city.
things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was really
So
good.
the shots were really good. But
Yeah, this is the same director as Shang-Chi. He directed
Okay.
Shang-Chi and then Wonder Man too. So he did the Wonder Man show, which I thought was really like underrated. At least like
Wonder
my
Man
thoughts
wasn't talked
going
about
into
enough.
there.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah.
was like, oh, this won't be like anything. But
Just
it's
like
really,
another
I thought it was
throwaway
good.
Marvel show?
Yeah, I thought it was
Yeah.
really good. It was a lot better than I thought it would be.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so and this guy, he was originally supposed to do Kang Dynasty when Kang was like the big bad. He was supposed to direct Avengers King Dynasty, but they obviously scrapped that and they gave him this movie instead.
It's funny that you mentioned Shang-Chi too, because thinking about the fight scenes and the choreography and the way the cinematography, the way the camera moved around the fight scenes, you could tell with that in this movie as well.
Yeah, and that's one of the main reasons why I really like Shang-Chi, just because those action scenes and like the fight choreography, like the hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah,
I feel
that's
like
definitely the
maybe-
best part of the movie. That's the highlight of Shang-Chi.
for sure. Other than maybe like Winter Soldier, I thought those were two like the best hand-to-hand
Hand
fights.
combat. Yeah. So let's just go ahead and dive into spoilers now and
Spoilers
just
now.
kind of spoiler warning, because we are early on this movie.
Yep.
So spoiler warning. But yeah, let's dive in. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off. We're just gonna fire away here.
Yeah. So obviously Sadie Sink's character,
Jean
everyone
Grey.
knew it was going to be Jean Grey, and
Jean
it
Grey.
does turn out to be. Apparently, I saw on the red carpet too, the premiere, one of the guys that like did the music or something in the film, like said like they asked him who would he like. Who's he's most excited to see? He said like Sadie's character, the villain, or something like that. So everyone's like, "Oh yeah, Jean." Or I think he said Jean. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was like for sure.
Right.
But, yeah. I
think
thought she was good.
I think everybody was 99% sure, so it was just nice to get it confirmed. Yeah, so it wasn't a shocker there. It was exactly what we were expecting, and I thought she did a really good job. I thought she killed it. I liked her look. I liked how they had her with the bangs and everything with the hood up. I really liked her look in the movie.
Yeah, I'm curious to see just how it goes forward with like obviously they're going to introduce more and
Right.
more X-Men. So I'm curious on like then
Yep.
obviously we saw at the end of the movie she was leaving on the bus. We don't know where she
Right.
was going exactly, but
And
yeah.
yeah, and I like kind of what they're doing with her. They're starting her at a young age of like kind of the same as Tom,
Hmm.
where
Probably
her
mid
character's like
20s.
early to mid
Hmm.
20s and they've got a lot of time with her.
Yeah,
So they're definitely going to develop her. This was definitely like a Jean Grey origin
for
story. She
sure.
was not deep. We didn't really do it's not like she was deep into her story or character arc.
Hmm.
Like this was very early
And then I
for
don't.
her character.
We're rewatching the X Men now, but I don't remember Jean having a sister. That was kind of Jean in
Yeah,
this movie's. Yeah,
Sarah Gray.
Sarah. Hmm.
I'd never heard of Sarah Gray.
Yeah, maybe in the comics or something. I'm not
Yeah,
sure. We haven't read the comics, but yeah,
yeah.
that was kind of interesting. I didn't know she had a sister because in the previous X Men's, I don't think they ever touched on that.
And
Maybe they did. We'll rewatch it.
right. And I knew that they that she obviously disproved it a few seconds later, but they even said before that whole final explosion where she mind controlled everybody
bunch of
and sent
people.
that big force field out, they had even said her sister was more powerful than her.
Yeah, true.
Yep. They were like, she's never displayed as powers as strong
Yeah.
as her sister.
She did kind of foreshadow. She's like, until you get more powerful, you can only go like 30 meters or 30 feet for it to jump.
Right,
but
right.
she's until you get more powerful, and
right.
obviously we know she's gonna get like really big, which we saw in
Yeah,
this
we just
movie.
saw it there. Yeah. Jean Grey, I really liked it. We'll dive into some of the scenes with her here in a moment, but
Who else? We
let's
have
kind of touch on a bunch of the other side characters,
Yeah.
like Punisher. Thought was really good.
I thought he
mean,
was in more of the movie than I thought he would be too. I thought he was
Yeah.
just going to be in a few scenes here and there, but he's in a lot of it.
I thought he would low-key get the Yelena treatment, like how
I didn't
Yelena showed
expect
up in
Yelena
this
to
movie.
show up like that.
Right. But yeah, how Yelena was in like 2 scenes. I thought maybe that's how Punisher would be, but no, he's in a good chunk of the movie.
Yeah, like even up to the end.
Yep, he
So-
plays a really big role in the movie.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge Punisher Frank Castle guy. I really like John Bernthal. What you see is what you get with him.
Yeah, he's
and
some of his like one-liners. And,
Yep, and just that same character, he just kills it as the Punisher. I feel like he was born to play this role, and he does stay moving around. He has moved locations. He's in like a cargo, like a shipping yard.
Yeah, in this
some kind of-
movie.
yeah, was he on like a boat? It looked like he was on some kind of cargo boat or
Yeah,
some kind
or
of
like the shipyard, like
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
junkyard type thing.
Yep.
Because
so-
in like Daredevil, we saw him just in that random building and that.
right,
so,
he was
yeah.
in some just like random warehouse. Yep. So he's at like some kind of cargo facility in this.
And then the same with the Punisher one-shot special, like the special. Yeah, he was just in a random apartment in that. So yeah, he's kind of jumping all around.
Yep.
So-
And him and Spider-Man kind of have the same back and forth that him and Daredevil have, where Spider-Man doesn't kill, but he does kill,
Yeah.
but they're both fighting crime at the same time, trying to stop the same people.
Yep.
And they get in each other's way, and their little banter back and forth was really good.
I was almost expecting Daredevil to show up a little bit, but nah, I guess not.
I did expect more surprises. Yelena was like really the only person I didn't see coming, but she didn't play a massive role, so it wasn't like shocking. And she is taking over the role of she is really embracing the role of
New Avengers.
the New Avengers and being like the leader, and they're even calling her Black Widow.
Yeah,
like
Black Widow.
Ned on the computer was like that's Black Widow. Like I'm a huge fan.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's funny. Then then obviously we had the Hulk as well.
Yep.
Like, Savage Hulk back finally.
Yeah, I know. Finally, that is long overdue. They've been gatekeeping that. Yep.
Yep.
I think we've only gotten Hulk in that form in like 3 movies: Avengers 1, Age of Ultron, and Ragnarok.
And that Ragnarok, he was in that for like most of the Ragnarok, if not all.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was since then. So God, yeah, I definitely missed that. I thought he looked really good too. Like yeah, he was huge.
Yep. And I know people were hyped from the trailer when he brought the clap.
The
back.
clap,
Yep. So
that was good. Then him like climbing the building and like jumping
Yep.
around, and then that one where he's holding Peter down when he ended up saying like Peter Parker like recognized me and got his hand like covered. He was like covering his whole body.
his whole it was like his whole torso. His hand
just
was
his hand was over. Yeah. I hope we see more of that going forward.
Yep, I think we will, because I think they know where they screwed up, where people were unhappy that he was like scared to come out in Infinity. I guess he did fight Thanos in the beginning of Infinity War, but he got smoked.
Yeah.
I know people weren't the biggest fans, especially me, of Professor Hulk. So I definitely think they're going to give us more of that Hulk moving forward.
Yeah, he's not like as of now confirmed in Doomsday, so I'm not sure if he'll be in there. I doubt it.
Yep.
But same thing with Spider-Man, which I'm not sure if Tom Holland's going to be in there either.
I thought the fight was really good between them two.
Yeah, that was probably one of the best action pieces.
And Punisher in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
Like I
he
thought
had shocker gauntlet too. He kind of like did a little like spin
Yeah,
around.
they had a little
like,
reference to the shocker there. Yeah,
Yep,
where they
couple
said those
times.
were his gauntlets. Yep. The fight scenes were so good.
Yeah,
the
I liked them
choreography
all.
was so good,
I like the
especially
prison one at the end with the
with
hand.
the hand. Oh my god.
And
Yeah,
then
that
him
was
just
so
in the
good.
beginning too, just kind of taking out random people here and there. I
Yep.
thought that looked really good.
Like
It was
his
a lot of
fight
the
with
game
Scorpion.
too.
Yep.
Scorpion.
And yeah, you mentioned the games too. I know a lot of the shots now, a lot of them were in the beginning. I think there was 2 or 3 of them, but the shots from the famous shots from the comic books
Yeah.
that they were talking about that they had included in the movie.
In the movie.
Yeah, they had taken like some famous comic book covers and did it, and those shots are very apparent. They did like some slow stills on those shots.
Obviously, MJ and Ned from.
Yeah,
I was
I
curious to
honestly,
see that.
I like what they did with MJ and Ned. I was a little worried about that going in of like what they were gonna do with MJ and Ned, but I kind of like the decisions that they made. Like Ned being a fan of Spider-Man, trying to figure out the identity. I thought that was pretty funny.
And I liked how they tied it because they saved him at Homecoming and saved him in Europe and stuff. So it makes sense that he would be interested in it.
Yeah. So they still know that Spider-Man is a person and that he had saved them multiple times. And so they started putting it together like it must have been somebody close to us. And that was funny when he lifted up the thing, the 2 prime suspects, Flash and that teacher, like Mr. Robertson or whatever his name was.
Funny.
Yeah,
that got
was
a
good.
big laugh in the theater. This is probably the best, I think, for sure, this relationship between Tom Holland and Zendaya in the movies.
Yeah, as far as the love story goes, this was like the peak.
For sure.
Because I've always felt like they had this awkward relationship. Like, I didn't like what they were doing with her early on, like with her character, how she was this very, like, kind of gothic, tomboyish, like, weird vibe that they had going with her. Like, antisocial in a way, I guess would be the word. Like, what they were doing with her in Homecoming. And then they kind of, like, developed her a little bit more in Far From Home.
Yep.
And then they made her much more normal and likable, in my opinion, in No Way Home. And then now she's really likable in this movie.
Yeah, so I thought she was really good in this one.
This was definitely, as far as their relationship goes, the like love story beats. This was like the pinnacle.
Yeah, this is really good.
Yeah, this was the best I've seen, that like their chemistry on screen together.
And there's nothing I would have really changed. I can't really think of something that's like, I didn't really like that, or there's nothing really. And at least with that, I could. Yeah, I liked it all there.
And I thought they were gonna linger too much on her having the whole new boyfriend thing. I was surprised that got reactions in the theater. Like when she kissed that guy, it was like that was in the trailer. So I'm surprised.
Was still, like,
there
weird.
was like some like shocked reactions, but it was like that was in the trailer. So I don't know.
I did like when she finds that old letter after he came back, and like
that was so good.
Yeah,
the
theater
awkward
got a big
silence.
gasp.
That was like the classic moment where they like come back after like winning the battle or whatever, and then he's like running down the stairs like MJ, I'm back, and then she's I thought like, please don't make like have her gone or hurt somehow, like somebody has gotten a hold of her.
She left a note or something.
You could, because you could like see it coming when she told Frank to go help him, because he obviously wanted Frank to stay behind to look after her, to kind of protect her while she was there and keep her safe. And then she tells Punisher to go help him. He helps him fight the Hulk. Helps him stop Jean Grey. And then when he goes back, there's like that awkward silence of him like coming down. And I'm like, please do not let her be like harmed or like missing or something. I thought that's what was coming. But then she was sitting there reading the letter. And I was like, oh, shit. So I thought that was really good the way they did that.
Yeah, and then he ends up saying like, I love you to her. And she's like, well, I don't know you.
Well, she's like, well, I don't love you.
And
so I was
in the
like,
theater's
oh my God. Sheesh.
And then same thing earlier in the movie when Jean was taking around people, he ends up like swinging her around and on top of that roof, and then they kiss.
That was going to be the next scene I was going to comment on, because I saw that coming when I had kind of like whispered it to you when she was up there and she first started talking to him and saying like, oh, I knew it. We were piecing it together with what we were talking about with the Washington Monument, getting saved there and getting saved in Europe and stuff. And then she takes the mask off of him and they kiss. I was sitting there thinking before that even happened, I don't think that's actually her. I think it's Jean Grey talking through her. I was like, oh, she's got her. There's no way. And then the way she just flipped that switch, like enjoy it while it lasts.
That reveal too, because it was like them hugging each other.
Yeah,
then
and she
like,
was just straight faced over his shoulder, like no emotion. I was like, oh my God,
and then
she
Tom's
got his
face.
ass. Yep, he fell for the bait. And then I thought we were going to have an Andrew moment. Andrew and Gwen. She went off the side of the building. Yep. And he jumped down to save her. I thought she was going to be hurt or something there, which she was hurt. She was just like knocked unconscious. But yeah, that
was good.
I mean, he was able to save her. But yeah, I thought that scene was really good. I really like what they did with Ned and MJ in this movie. I have like no complaints whatsoever.
And then a lot of the movie too was focused on him like becoming more of like that spider like gene in him, that DNA overtaking his human DNA. That was a big part of the movie too.
Yeah, that was the huge speculation with the trailers. What's happening happening to him. He's mutating. That's kind of how Dr. Banner gets involved into the mix. He goes to visit him at the college campus and is asking him how to create that device to kind of suppress his mutating DNA.
I really like those scenes that when he was actually like, and he was like
Yes.
a lot more powerful. He was throwing guys around.
It gave me vibes of like he's flipping a second switch, like when Bucky is obviously strong as Bucky, but then he goes Winter Soldier mode and he's like unstoppable.
Like a tank.
That's exactly what I love to see that.
Yeah, that prison sequence where he was fighting the hand and those guards, that reminded me for sure of the game. There was a lot of like those things where he was like webbing them to the wall. The one in the prison where he did that huge like
The spin move and he was spraying the webs everywhere.
Move in the game. Yeah, I thought that was really good.
I liked how he embraced that too. I like how they had the moment where he took the device off and he was like, "I'm both. I'm Peter Parker and Spider-Man."
Because Jean was talking to him, saying like, "You can't be both."
Yeah. And he was like, "Well, I am both." Yep.
Yeah,
and
cool.
I thought he was gonna give like an "I am Iron Man" moment, like "I am Spider-Man," and then he was like, "I'm both." And then he just that was some aura there. He was aura farming. I like the way his eyes glaze over, like he's got the black eyes, and it almost kind of reminded me of Moon Knight, where Moon Knight had that like. It looked like he was down and out, and then he had that like Jake Lockley third personality he'd switch into, and everybody'd be dead around him. It seemed like he can like flip that switch, and get more powerful on a dime.
Now if he can control it, like
if he's got a perfect balance between his normal self and the like spider mutation,
he's that more powerful now.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, this was definitely the strongest Tom has looked in any of his movies by far. Yeah, like I'm saying, like the way he like really stood on his own 2 feet in this movie, I think this was his best acting performance.
For sure, yeah.
Besides maybe like the Aunt May death scene would be like the only thing you could argue.
But he was good in this with like MJ a lot, and then like
he was
Jean.
so good in this.
Yeah.
I think this was his best acting performance by far, like by a mile. Like this might be, honestly, I hate to be recency biased, but this might be my favorite Marvel movie since Endgame, low key.
Really?
I think I like it better than Guardians 3, and then what are some of the other highlights? Like No Way Home we commented on, like
Thunderbolts,
Fantastic Four. I think it's better than those movies. Like I think it's
Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yep. I think it's the best movie since Endgame.
Yeah, I'll have to think about it more. Yeah, I don't know.
And I think it's the best Tom movie.
Yeah, I could see that. We're gonna get in rankings like next week, so I don't want to jump too much in the rankings.
I'm telling you, it's gonna be high on my list. I got high praise for it. I cannot wait to watch it again.
I really like this director going in. I loved him in Shang-Chi and Wonder Man, and I don't know, this like the way the trailer was happening with Hulk and the Punisher. I was like, I had a good feeling going. And
I just think they took this one more seriously, and he even Tom Holland. Now this is like a popular thing that a lot of people do, but like Tom Holland with the whole pre-message right before the movie started, where he was like, "We've put so much time into this movie, like this is the one we worked the hardest on." Like I think he meant it. Yeah, like he was like, like they were in their bag.
I saw an interview too where he was searching the internet for a long time too, looking for what people wanted out of a Spider-Man movie. And he was trying to like gather it all up.
100%.
I think he did really well.
People love Frank. They wanted it, like him and the Punishers banter back and forth.
Back to the street level.
And back to the street level. The vibes of New York, like that was one of the biggest complaints.
If it didn't have like the Punisher, who I mean is in the MCU now, I guess, and Yelena, this almost didn't even feel like an MCU movie. Like in the same universe,
really feels standalone.
It does feel
really
standalone.
Does. Yeah.
Obviously, they have a few.
The side characters is the only thing that ties it in.
Hulk
If it was
too,
just Spider-Man and Jean Grey, it would feel like its own standalone thing.
Yeah, own universe.
Like how like Tobey and Andrews movies felt. Speaking of like the graveyard with Andrews movies, like they did that a lot in this movie. Like the shots of him at May's grave, putting the flowers on there, like it was like almost like a daily routine or like a weekly routine.
That's what was interesting at the start. Remember, it had them when they first were going to college, and then by the end of that kind of sequence, they were at the end of their final semester. So it did like a 4-year time jump there, because it was like the beginning of their college career, and then by the end they were like, this is our final semester at MIT. So they did a big time jump.
I was so wrapped up in what was going on, I like barely even caught that, to be honest.
Because that's like all the flowers, they like did that. Yeah, that wasn't like daily. That
you could tell like the seasons were changing. Every time he was dropping those flowers off, he was in different outfits.
Ned too changed a little bit, like his appearance. MJ too, a little bit.
Yeah. There's definitely a few other highlight scenes I want to touch on, like the emotional scene where Jean Grey is in his mind at the end, and she's sitting on the bed, and it's her living through his memory
with Aunt May,
and that like little emotional speech. I really like the way they did that, because that was like what she needed to hear in that moment. But it was through and then Tom comes in because he's like strong enough to where she can't really control his mind, but he like let her in. And then the way they sat down on the bed together and like had that conversation, and she was like, "Well, I don't have anybody," and he was like, "Well, you have me." I wouldn't be surprised if they're setting up. People were speculating they'd be setting up a relationship between him and Yelena. I wouldn't be surprised if they're setting up a relationship with him and Jean.
Yeah, it did kind of look. I almost thought they were about to kiss for a second
I
because they
know.
were like weirdly like coming together.
And how emotional she got in
Yeah.
the next scene we're about to talk about. But when he was on the ground, but yeah, like I definitely see them building a relationship because she was like, I have nobody, and he was like, well, you have me, and she was like tearing up. I thought they were about to kiss right there.
Yeah,
I really do. Yep, they were like really connecting because he was like, sorry about your sister, sorry about your aunt. Like, I really like the way they were doing that. And yeah, it seems like he's almost moving on past MJ in a way, a little bit. Like she likes him as a friend. And the way she invited him in to like, oh, you want to go up and say hi to Ned? And he had the suit on the whole time, and him and Ned talked, and they were like building the Legos, and they like ate food and all that stuff. And she did that little like drawing of them, and then clearly she had given him the drawing at the end of the movie in the hospital when they came to when she came to visit. Obviously, her telling him like, sorry, like I don't really know you, like I don't love you like that. And then when he was saying, even when he revealed to her like, yeah, when she had control of your mind and I kissed you, like I just thought you should know. And she was like, oh, whatever. Like, I'm not like, yeah, no big deal. Like, I'm not really worried about it. So
I don't
like,
know. I feel like they're gonna. I don't know. I could.
They
see
could,
it.
but I could see it going either way.
Especially
like,
at the end with Ned, kind of like.
Yes.
Regaining a little bit memory of like the handshake.
That
and
was
stuff.
good too.
Yeah,
because MJ was like, MJ told him too in that scene where he went to get the food at the door, and she was like, I think you should tell him.
He'll be able to like
he'll be able to handle it. Like he'll be able to figure it. Yeah. And I like the way he was like, I know. And then they saved it for the end. And then he was inside the shop. He was grabbing flowers again.
Yeah.
He goes up to Ned and they did their handshake, and Ned like knew it from memory. And he was like, your name's Peter? Like Peter? Like he like, you could see like the wheels turning, like the way he was putting it together. Yep. So I thought that was really good to end the movie like that. I thought was so good.
Yeah. And then the same too with like the city, like everyone loving Spider-Man and him like walking through that crowd. Yeah, I thought that was really good too.
So yeah, let's get into that. Right when the memory is done, where they're sitting on the bed together and they're talking like inside Peter's mind, and the memory of Aunt May's done. We see Frank, he's like trying to get a hold of Spider-Man as Spider-Man's fighting the hand. He's setting up with the sniper from a distance away outside the force field where she is kind of like mind controlled, and the guy has everybody frozen. He shoots, and at first you almost don't know what's going on because Spider-Man gets like, they're like sitting there talking.
I was like, oh,
and Peter gets his like the spider sense, and he like is looking around, and then the hallway like goes black. And then it's like coming in on that sniper shot, and I was like, holy shit, like Frank's about to kill her. But then the way he jumped in front to like save her,
got hit right in the back.
And I really thought too, like, man, like he's Spider-Man, like he's gonna survive that with ease, but like he was not gonna survive that. Like Frank even said in the hospital, like she had to use like her voodoo magic on you this whole time to keep you alive. Yeah, because he was like bleeding out. He was dead, and he knew it because he was like, get out of here. How emotional she got in that moment, too, was good. Like, there's some chemistry between the two of them, I'm telling you. Like, they're either going to be in a relationship or like best friends. They're going to have like a little duo ship, I feel like, moving forward.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting how that goes forward.
Yep. But he was bleeding out. Like, he was in a huge pool of blood. I mean,
you could see the blood behind his head.
He took a 50 cal shot to the spine. So, like, he was cooked. And yeah, you could see her starting to use his powers, and then in that moment, like it went away pretty quick because when you see Frank getting him to the hospital, and they're in the news is like the news reports like, oh well,
critical condition.
He's in critical condition. Like we're praying for him, yada yada yada. I'm like, okay, he's gonna survive. But in that moment when he first dropped to the ground after he took the shot, I was like, holy shit, they're going to kill him right here. The only reason I thought that was because everybody's been speculating, why is Tom not on the chairs for Doomsday? Is he in Doomsday? Is he not in Doomsday? What's going on there? And I thought, like, this perfectly explains it. He is about to get killed in his own movie, which nobody's going to see coming. He's not in Doomsday because he's dead. But then in Secret Wars, with how you know they're going to use the multiverse or maybe go back in time and stuff, they could pull him forward at just the same way he got dusted in Infinity War and came back in Endgame with everybody else. They could kind of do something similar here, I feel like, to make that work. Because I feel like there's no rules with character deaths anymore with the whole multiverse. I was like, this is going to be perfect. He's dead. He's not in Doomsday. This explains it. And then in Secret Wars, he's going to come out. Could you imagine the crowd pop for that?
Yeah,
could you imagine the reaction for that? That's what I thought they were going to do for a second. But then obviously he survives.
Yeah, I didn't think they were going to kill him. But yeah, like thinking about it.
I wasn't thinking about that for like a long time. But for the first like 30 seconds, I was like, holy shit, they just killed him. Like they actually just, like they really had the balls balls to do that. Like, I really thought that would have been like, now you even said too, it'd be a little like goofy, like Punisher snipes
Killing
him,
him.
and like he's Spider-Man, and we just saw how powerful he was the whole movie, and then a sniper shot takes him out. I don't know. I kind of like if they were to have done it, I like the ballsiness of that.
Yeah. As of now, I probably would guess he's not in Doomsday, but I have no idea.
Who knows? I mean,
Yeah.
they're gatekeeping. They were gatekeeping Sadie Sink, Jean Grey, like
The whole time.
Yeah, the whole time.
Even though everyone knew.
Even though everybody pretty much
It's kind
knew.
of like No Way Home. Everyone knew Toby and like
Yeah,
Andrew.
when you
not
saw the villains
as
and stuff in the
overwhelming.
trailer, you knew like, okay, Toby and Andrew are gonna
Yeah.
be in here. Like, yeah.
I just didn't know how it would be. Yeah,
And there's a ton of speculation that Toby's gonna be in Doomsday, which
that's rumored.
we can comment on that real quick, just because the end cutscene, there is one end cutscene, not a mid-credit scene. It's all the way at the very end.
Yep.
And it's Ned's spider tracker app, like find Spider-Man app, like the Spider-Man sightings. It comes up and it says another Spider-Man has been spotted, and it goes way out, like past the moon into space.
Yep.
And a logo pops up. Now, I get what they're trying to do. It's like a fun little creative way to do it to get a good reaction. A bunch of people in the theater said Miles right away. They thought it was Miles. It could be, but I would assume it's Toby.
Yeah.
All the speculation that Toby is going to be in Doomsday, I got to assume
And
it's
it
Toby.
just said Spider-Man will return. It didn't say like Tom
Yeah.
Holland will return or like
Right.
it was just the character. But
So-
I don't know. I could see somehow like
Yeah.
not sure how they would do it. Like if it is Tom, just off world.
It
I mean,
it
could
is,
be.
yeah, it is kind of nitpicky, but like, because with that spider tracker app, it was like people had to get on the app and type it in,
Like
that
sightings.
they cited him somewhere. So like, how are they citing him out in space? But I just think it was just, they were having like a fun little creative moment of how to like reveal it to the crowd. So I'm not too mad about that at all. That's just like a little nitpick, because they kind of did the same thing with Fantastic Four, where they had the Thunderbolts at the end and the spaceships coming down. That sets it up for Doomsday. Same thing here. We have Brand New Day, another Spider-Man sighted, might set up Toby coming in for Doomsday.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens with that. The only thing we really didn't comment on too much was the Department of Damage Control. That was kind of the whole backstory for Jean Grey.
Yep.
Like, they had captured her sister, Sarah Grey, how we already kind of commented on. And they that was her whole mission, was to track down her sister and see what they did with her. And then it gets revealed that ended up killing her. She had died in that room that they were running tests on her on.
With a vent, like
With
VMAX.
with VMAX on the vent, which was just Vent Max, but the ENT was like covered in tape. So yeah, I thought that was kind of a creative thing.
Obviously, Mr. Milchick from
Yeah,
Severance.
Mr. Milchick.
Tremel
Shout out
Tillman.
Mr. Milchick. And I did not trust him from the beginning. When he
Yeah, I
had
thought
that
it was
first little
weird.
meeting with Spider-Man, he was kind of shady from the jump.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw that coming, that he was not going to be,
Even-
because I knew Jean Grey was not going to be a straight up villain.
Yeah,
I was
know.
like,
She's
there's going to be there's got to be some backstory here, and then her and
Of why
Spider-Man are
she's
going to kind of
going
come to
mad.
terms. Yeah. Spider-Man Brand New Day. What do you give it out of 10?
I'm gonna give it at this first just out of theater. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. I think it's definitely one of my favorite Spider-Man movies of all time,
100%.
for sure, especially live action. Yeah, with him like going back to more street level New York, the swinging and action scenes I thought were for sure, at least MCU wise, were the best that Tom's had. So yeah, overall I really thought it was a strong movie.
Yep. I think they silenced all the haters and all the complaints that people have put on Tom's movies in the past. So I think that was their goal, and I think they achieved that. So out of 10, I would give it a 9.5. I hate to be recency biased, but I don't care. I'm going to throw it up there. I enjoyed every second of it. I thought the emotional beats were unbelievable. I think it's easily Tom's best movie. The only thing that would be in contention, like we talked about, is No Way Home. But I think No Way Home has a lot of fan service that carries it, with other characters and stuff coming in. Toby and Andrew and the old villains and stuff carry a lot of that weight. So I think Tom standing on his own 2 feet, I think this was the most powerful he's ever looked. I think this is the best performance he's ever given in Marvel. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 9.5. It is up there. It's the best movie since Endgame, in my opinion.
It's up there for sure. It's hard because I'm trying to think of other movies and we just finished watching this, so again, you don't want to be too much recency bias, but I really liked it. I was hyped going in, and I was satisfied.
Yep, I think it was great from start to finish. I have like little to no complaints. I have almost no complaints about the movie. Alrighty, guys, that is going to be it for our review of Spider-Man Brand New Day. If you guys enjoyed it, please leave a thumbs up down below. Leave a comment letting us know what you guys thought of the movie, and come back next week for more content from us. Peace.